Welcome back to Look News. We welcome to the program now Julia Stuckman. She is a children's librarian at Crandall Public Library. Welcome to Look News.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. You're here to share more about your 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, a campaign that's being kicked off this Saturday. What's the program all about?
It's challenging kids and their families to read 1,000 books before the child enters kindergarten.
1,000 books seems like quite a lot for a kindergarten-age child. Talk to me about that ambitious goal.
Well, if you just read 3 books a night, you would get to 1,000 books in less than a year. So it's a goal that's challenging for the kids, but it's also really attainable. We think a lot of people will be able to finish.
1,000 books, you're telling me there's a recommended reading list, but you don't necessarily have to stick to that. You know, what kind of books are you suggesting that these families kind of, get in their arsenal of reading materials?
They can read anything they want for this program. They can read books more than once, because we all know kids like to read the same thing over and over.
So you're allowed to duplicate the books a couple of times?
Yes.
Okay.
Any reading helps with early literacy skills, and we want it to be fun, so we hope that they find books they enjoy. And we also hope that they can maybe be exposed to some classic literature and some new things that are really great. So.
Now you said you do have a reading list, so families can come to the library. They're not necessarily having to buy these 1,000 books. They can come to the library and check them out, and you have that selection there.
Yes.
This is obviously a way to get the parents involved in this process as well. Talk to me about the family aspect of getting, obviously this begins with the parents, so talk to me about getting the whole family involved in this process.
Well, we hope that starting a reading habit early is going to help kids throughout their whole lives, so especially when they start school, to have this foundation of enjoying reading with their family, and it will help their school skills once they enter kindergarten. Yeah,
that's probably the important part, right? Building those foundation blocks?
Yes.
For them. You have a big event planned for Saturday to kick this whole thing off. What's on tap for the event on Saturday?
We're going to have some costume book characters like Clifford and Maisie the Mouse, so the kids can meet the characters and get their pictures taken. We're also going to have a bounce house, refreshments, a reading corner. It's going to be music and dancing, so it should be a fun event for the whole family.
And once that kicks off, the reading begins.
Yes.
And you're going to award these kids for getting to certain milestones in their reading. Give me a little bit more information about that and what the awards would be. Right.
Once they sign up for the program, they get logs where they can keep track of every 100 books. And when they get to the 100, 200 milestones, they can add something to a special mural we have in the children's department. We also have prizes such as bags.
Which we have an example of that here.
And once they finish the 1,000 books, we're going to add a book to the library collection in their honor.
Okay. So to have their name in it.
Yes.
And do they get to choose that book?
We hope so. We hope to be able to have a selection for them.
This book seems like, if this bag seems like it was filled with books, it would weigh some of these little kids down.
Yeah, they might need some help.
They may need some help. Hey, quickly before we wrap up, do you have a favorite children's book that you would suggest that should be #1 on a kid's list?
Oh,
it's a kind of a put you on the spot question.
I love all of the books by Tommy DePaula, but Stregonona is one of my favorites for 4 or 5-year-olds. So,
and that's a title that he wrote that is particularly special?
Yes, it's called Stregonona. It's about a grandma witch who has a magical pasta pot. So it's a fun story.
It sounds good. Well, we wish you the best of luck as you kick this off.
Thanks.
And hopefully helping a lot of kids read a lot of books.
Yes.
Julia Stuckman is from Crandall Public Library. Now, to find out more about 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, the program kicks off this Saturday at Crandall Library in Glens Falls. And see our conversation for a second time, log on to looktvonline.com.